Welcome to Disc and Ball's Golf Channel's coverage of the most overproduced solo round in disc golf history. Currently, anyway. I recorded this a little while ago. It's something that I wanted to edit together, just unnecessarily exorbitant as far as the overlays, the shot tracers, the commentary. And so today we're playing out of Live Oak Park in Ingleside, Texas. We're doing the gold tees, the longer, more challenging tees. Let's get right into it. Hole 1 is a par 4, 604 foot, tough hole. Possibly the hardest hole on the course right off the bat. Ignore the shoddy drone footage. It's I didn't realize how bad that is for like one of my first drone fly-throughs. Anyway, first landing spot is up here about 250 feet or so, kind of where those little burnout little marks are looking like. Looks like someone was doing donuts out there. From there, a lot of people will try to take a high spike hyzer over everything instead of trying to weave through this area that my drone is struggling to make it through. Like I said, I didn't realize I was so shoddy back then when it came to that. So anyway, once you get to this open area, you got a clean putt. Probably about 90 feet or so is where that starts. Here on the first tee, you got the Opto River. Very straight-ish flying. This one will turn over a little bit. Doesn't matter because I immediately yank it into the bushes. Yeah, that's the facial expression of someone who just shanked their first shot off the tee. Turns out it was visible through this little trail here. I didn't have much of a line though. I think I could have pitched out. Again, like I said, I recorded this a while ago, so I have forgotten some of it. I have recalled other bits of it while editing, and also getting the overlay information. So yeah, A2 just trying to, overhand second shot. Not always the best start to a round. Oh, did I get that right? Damn it. Oh. So right here, I thought that I got the wrong distance to get it out. It did get out of the bushes, but got caught up in the tree. Since it didn't want to play fair, I just chucked the other disc at it there. So Heimberg Destroyer, just trying to send it somewhere where I can get around this corner. And I do, barely. And I thought I could flip up an Opto Explorer here. Trying to release it on a bit of hyzer and get it to just stand up with the power. I released it a bit flat, so it turned over and went mostly nowhere. A little bit of disgust there. I ran this.
Come on, get it.
And from possible bogey save to
That's amazing.
struggling triple attempt. Upslope's a little weird. I think it was near circle's edge, if I recall. Just did not get it up with the elevation change. And that is a quad to start the day. Not optimal. That's pretty brutal. Hole number 2. It's a 215-foot straightaway shot. This shows my enhanced drone piloting skills. There is a hyzer line. I definitely don't take that. I just try to go straight at it. And that's the typical play, is straight at it. There is a ditch that's OB if surrounded by water. But I make the wise play and take it completely out of play with a very early release. Leave me 173 to try to save the par. Decent little skip, and there's a chance. Oh yeah, so I was looking at the wizard there. It took a little tree beating there. Seems okay. Probably about 18-footer here. Cash, not too bad. That's it's really important to bounce back with a par after that first hole. So number 3, 443 feet. I think it plays a little longer, but it starts out through this tunnel and then dog legs fairly hard to the left. If you can make it around this first tree here and get into this open area, that usually gives you a chance to find a line that you can throw through. There are a few different routes. All of them are somewhat narrow, so it is challenging, but if you can get, like I said, any sort of line, it lets you access the basket. Whether you have a putt at it is still, determined upon those trees all around inside the circle. So right here I'm throwing a metal flake katana. I was kind of in between throwing like the flex line and like the long glidey flex and a roller. Yeah, got away with one there because when I released that I wasn't sure if I was trying roller or not. Of course, this is that wide open line that I mentioned. It happened to end up right at it. And the DX Shark puts me just outside of circle 1, I think. I don't know if I was able to get a range here, but the tree was forcing me to do something different here. Try and find a way to make it work. This is where that accessing the basket thing comes into. And to be honest, I didn't think, the little wave of the hand, I didn't think I could miss that right because of the angle of the tree. But a par there is solid. Hole number 4, 288 feet. It is typically full hyzer for the right-hander. Just put it out here on hyzer, let it skip. It's typically some sort of skip play just because that's the easiest way to get the shape of the fairway. If you have a lot of power, it's possible to outthrow the fairway. Or if you're trying to do a flip up, you have to hold it really tight. Doing the Z Nuke OS here. Get the good skip. 46 feet for birdie. Go with my less stable hunter. And it falls. That's a... I was trying not to yell on camera. That'll trigger the disc and balls instant replay. Leans it in with the fist bump. That is a chuckle of pure glee there. Hole number 5, 245 feet. Forehand for me all the way. It used to be just a full power forehand. As I've gotten stronger and better at throwing, now I don't know what to do here. I've been throwing Phoenix, I've been throwing Destroyer. I think I just need to chill out with the Destroyer and put it down the line there. Except this time, I hadn't learned that yet. So Eternal Phoenix, great disc. Very poorly thrown though. And we're going weed whacking. Trying to flex the A2 here. I was thinking, oh, you know what? If I can get it around this initial set of trees. Oh no, actually I saw a gap that I thought I could hit. And I hit enough of it. 99 feet, just trying to save the bogey, and that's going to be some work. I'm going to straddle this tree. 34 feet to save bogey. Pretty fortunate catch on the left side. It was hyzering out, but it secures the post birdie fuck up. Hole number 6 is 540 feet. This initial little area, this first couple trees here, set a low ceiling right off the bat. If you can get it down this right tunnel, it's pretty good. Also this left lane, once you push through, it's not so bad for the hyzer. Kind of opens up your second shot. You will see a lot of people lay up to the ditch here because the water inside is OB. If you lay up to the ditch, you have about a 260 foot forehand to the basket. Not a gimme, even from the layup area. Here I go with the ESP nuke, just trying to punch something low. Trying to flip this thing up from hyzer. Not great. But I did get to that left lane. And that's huge. Yeah, look at that. So it was 210 to clear the water. And this is, look at this footing here. We're going to get an instant replay. And drag that foot so that I don't over rotate. Manage to hit my line. And keep it low. That was a challenging throw, executed well. Leaves me about 90 feet. I was trying to throw this in. And it gets pushed down by the wind a little. It's going to make for an easy par though. And six is a hole that can eat some people. Hole number 7, 512 foot par 4. Pretty straight shot right off the bat. If you can get about 300 feet, anything past these trees really is an optimal drive. The silver tee pad, which is not there right now. Silver tees are a great place to be if you can get in front of those, because that gives you a pretty straight line down this tunnel here. Low ceiling for the most part. You typically don't want to put it up in the wind out here. And then a couple of field goal posts to make it to the basket. You see a lot of backhand plays. Throwing the Opto Claymore here. Very straight flying mid-range. And I executed that as well as I could have. Still left myself with 247 feet. And the Bobcat is the disc here. If I can get this down this tunnel, it's going to fade on its own and give me a birdie look potentially. Except I throw it nose up and it gets smacked down by the tree. 126. This is not one that I'm typically going to run. Just trying to put it close, avoid the, again, that little V is the throwing lane. I knew I released that a little ante, but I did get it to float, and so it faded back at the end. And secure the par. Again, just trying to stay alive. Hole number 8 is a 274 foot par 3. And it's pretty straight. The gap that's almost impossible to miss at the beginning of the hole opens up to this field here where you get a lot of swirling winds. I've had my Nuke OS do weird stuff. This tree branch on your right will knock down any discs that aren't kept low, so the skip play is pretty popular. And there's also trees like limbs and things high that will tend to knock down your disc. Going with that Nuke OS again, as I mentioned. And miss the gap entirely. A little bit of frustration and self-loathing there. I'm gonna abandon that. And knowing how that tends to turn up, I just say nope. I don't want it. It's dead to me. Left it on the fire station porch so I can throw this destroyer. And should have done that the first time. Yeah, so that's where it ended up. It would have been bogeyable, but there are times where you can't even access the fairway, and so secure the bogey. Not the way you want that to happen. Alright, hole number 9. Last hole of the front 9. It is 576 feet going over this ditch, OB ditch. Don't run into the bushes there. So anything up here, if you can land something where the drone's at, it's pretty good. This little carve out is pretty good if you get a turnover, that a disc that turns over and ends up there, or forehand. That will open up this second or third shot, depending on your tee shot, to get up toward the basket. And it's a bit of work. This hole is another one that can really get some people if you don't get far off the tee. Throwing a leopard 3 here, trying to get a little flip up. flip up and straight ride. You hear me asking for it to sit, and that's because if it goes long into that heavy stuff on the left, it is almost impossible to get out of. So throwing that Heimberg destroyer, just trying to get it to fade around that corner. Kept it on hyzer, but it just wrong power for that line that I was trying to take. Overpowered it through the corner and into there, which you can see it hanging up there. Pretty rough position. There's so many spiky vines in there. Yeah, those are the spiky vines. Just trying to float a shark somewhere into the fairway, which mission accomplished. At least I'll have a chance at bogey here. Go with the A2. And big high kick to the left. Anything but a kick to the left would have given me at least a chance. This is 52 feet, so it's not bad. It just tickles chains. Should have gone with the less stable hunter. And that will secure the double bogey. So, brutal way to finish the front nine. Let's you know, as we outro here, we'll look at some of the fun stuff. That's exciting, yep. So as you can see, sort of a brutal front nine to begin. We're looking to bounce back on the back nine. As always, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you on the course.